Louisiana Beer Reviews presents Warka beer from 1478. It's just like this Sagres Cerveja. One of those companies that Heineken went around buying out. It's the same story all around the world. You've got your big brewing companies. Anheuser-Busch InBev, SAB Miller, Molson Coors, Heineken International, Carlsberg Group, right? And so they go around and they buy up smaller beer companies. That's the way business works. It happens in most other areas of the world, of the business world. Okay, and it seems like what Heineken does is that they pretty much let the brewery, and I have a Warka strong that I'm going to also do a review of. Ooh. They pretty much leave the brewery intact and just keep it under their umbrella. Warka is part of the Zwiek group. That's the Polish beers, and then Heineken buys FEMSA down in Brazil, and that's all those South American beers, and Moctezuma in Mexico, and you have all the Dos Equis and the Sol and all of that, and happens all around the world. Okay, Carlsberg does the same thing with the Baltica beers in Russia, and Kronenbourg in France, and everything. Everything. Okay, now, I keep getting delayed. I got to get back to the Oscar Blues. I bought this at Libby's Liquors on US Highway 1 in New Jersey, and they were all about $1.89 for the 16.9 ounce bottles, 500 milliliter bottles. A couple of them were, I think the Lick was $2.49 and the Grolsch was $2.49, but all the rest were $1.89. The Warka, like I said, introduced in 1478 during the days of the Kingdom of Poland. Back when Poland, in the Middle Ages, when Poland was a big old country, they used to own most of Ukraine, Lithuania, Prussia, and it was big. It's not so big today. They lost all their non-Polish territories, like Ukraine was lost in 1939. Okay, it's supposedly 5.7% alcohol. It's kind of a high, like a malt liquor range. It gets an okay score on Beer Advocates, like a C. Only 11 out of 100 on rate beer, but an 88 out of 100 for the style. So what is that telling you? They don't like the style, Euro Pale Lager. But just because you don't like the style does not mean the beer is bad, okay? It smells like a lot of these other European beers. The Golden Pheasant from Slovakia. I think that's a Heineken beer too. Or maybe it's Miller. Pilsner Urquell from the Czechia, which is SAB Miller. Got kind of a rich aroma, a little honey aroma, maybe from the barley. Grupa Zwiek, Poland. I'm trying to see an ingredients list. I do not see that. I'm presuming it's water, barley, malt, hops, and yeast. Now they're saying 5.6 on the bottle, so I'll be inclined to go with what the bottle's saying. And it's got the Polish national colors, the red and the white, and then the Polish emblem. Just like the Zagres has, your Portuguese iconography. And that's very similar to this. That's your most popular style, that Pilsner style, that light lager, Euro lager without the corn or rice. Although some do have the corn or rice, the Peroni has the corn and rice, the Birra Moretti, the Amatza from Lebanon, but that's a Heineken brand also. Good aroma, decent head, a little kind of a thin to medium head, golden appearance. Yeah, same type flavor. The barley malt, the slight honey, the bread crust, the grassy hops, the light to medium mouthfeel, and the crisp, clean, refreshing, mostly dry finish. People will ask me, what's your favorite Euro lager? I mean, it's really hard to say. They're so similar. They have some little subtle differences, but they're not appreciably different from each other. That's a word I use a lot. So they're nice to try. Better to get them fresh. I got one of those golden pheasants once. I was over a year old. It tasted kind of turned. People ask me, what American style lagers do you like the most? The adjunct lagers: Coors, Miller, Budweiser, Pabst, Old Milwaukee. Milwaukee's best. They're so similar. So I just shop price personally. You get any of those major brands made by Miller slash Coors, which is not a company, it's a joint venture in America. The Anheuser-Busch beers, or those big ones, they're going to always be good, consistent, quality, controlled, reliable. You start getting off into the Rochester beers, the stuff coming from Genesee, the NAB, North American breweries, the Genesee people in Rochester, or your stuff from La Crosse, Wisconsin, it becomes very questionable, and you can't trust it as much. So I tend to favor the bigger ones. They're more reliable. Could be a slight metallic. I don't know why. I mean, it's really enjoyable. There's a little paperiness. This is a little out of date. It says June 6th. We're already later in the month here, so. But it doesn't really taste old. It's not super fresh, but it's very good. I would say it's a B plus. I think if it was super fresh or on draft like if you were in Warsaw, Poland, or Gdansk, something like that, or Krakow, I mean, it'd probably be awesome, right? So something to try. So I'm gonna say B plus. I wouldn't go lower than that. So Laissez Les Bon Ton Relais, very good, interesting, but not particularly remarkable. European pale lager. This is not what they were making in 1478. Okay, these types of things didn't really get going until 1842 with the introduction of Pilsner Urquell. And that sort of like revolutionized the beer world, just like Miller Lite in 1975, or Samuel Adams Boston Lager in '85. Those kind of revolutionary game changers. So y'all come on down to New Orleans.